Toga party! Oh, wait, we didn't wear our togas. Damn it.
Well, that's correct, because I was going to say release the Kraken, but then I was afraid what you might do in response to that. And then I thought, maybe not the best turn of phrase when Dave's my co-host.
That's very true. I might actually do release a Kraken. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Batman the Fan-imated
fans version of the stream.
Exactly. Yeah, nobody knows about it yet. We'll provide a link down below. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Batman the Fan-imated stream. I'm, of course, Dave the Film Junkie. With me, as always, Mr. Scott McClellan. How's it going, sir?
Hello, hello, hello. And before we get started tonight, happy 30th birthday, Harley Quinn.
Wow, that's right. It has been 30. Today's the date.
11th, 1992 was the air date of Joker's Favor, the first appearance of Harley Quinn.
Well, there you go. I know. And then, of course, like we kind of talked about it on the Vodka stream, how it was 30 years of the broad, of when Batman the Animated Series came about,
this Monday, past Monday,
we didn't really kind of talk. We were like, oh yeah, we kind of slipped on that. But anyways, we do that. And then, of course, it is September 11th. So raise your glasses, whatever drinks you have, for all the first responders, fallen victims, all that stuff. I can't believe, like, man, how long ago it was. It's just like it's crazy. So cheers to all that.
I still want to bring up I still love Kevin Conroy's story of serving first responders.
Yep.
And he did the whole I am vengeance, I am the night thing, and they were like, God damn it, the fucking Batman.
That was so cool. Yeah.
So
I remember.
cool.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. But of course, we're remembering that today. And I mean, moment of silence. But we were going to raise our glasses. I've been watching football all day. They've been doing, of course, good opening up all the games with with all that, and it's been pretty cool. So. Evening, Mr. Venom right there. We got Tony Chappie, D9 Neil Blomkamp fan. We got Zed Tet, whichever you want to go by. We got Mama Film Junkie here. Right, that's right. Ooh, yeah. Had dinner with her tonight, so that was good. Hades, you're behind this. Oh man.
It's so funny. I didn't even let Dave was about to reveal some feelings about the episode, and we were like, nope, because Dave and I have not talked. I have no idea how he feels about this episode today.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, because I was like pretty much gone all day, and then I got home real quick, watched the episode, and yes, Jose, I know the Dodgers. Yeah, they're going all the way, but yeah. Bears won today. That was pretty interesting. Holy crap. I'm not a Niners fan if you're trying to dig me with that. I don't even really have a football team. I just like watching football, but that was a pretty good game, though, I will say. When it comes to this, Fire from Olympus, I was kind of going, I think we kind of briefly talked about this.
Like, you had no memory of this episode whatsoever.
I really didn't have a lot of memory about this. I really didn't. And then, of course, naturally, when you watch, you kind of go like, you remember little beats. But then I was just kind of going like, oh, wow. There is I could see, because you mentioned something last week about, didn't you say you wrote something about this? Or there was something that you were what did you talk about last week when it came to this episode?
No, just the fact that in middle school, I was such a hardcore Greek mythology nerd that this episode appealed to me, and I even took the notes I took for this episode, picking up on even more like little things that I didn't even pick up on 30 years ago when this episode aired. So
that's right. You wrote the paper on last week's episode. That's where I was getting confused. But I remember you mentioned something about something with this, and I was just like, I was just trying to remember what was happening in this episode. And I mean, obviously, if you're, Greek mythology and the references there, but I mean, we're really dealing with a businessman who has lost his mind.
I know. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of like, as sort of an introduction to this episode, if I was going to give I enjoy the episode. Spoiler alert. I enjoy this episode. but if I was going to give one criticism, is it's a little light on the mental, like what caused Maxie to like
go crazy.
To basically, it's like dissociative identity disorder
Oh, big
almost.
time, big time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like I was trying to remember this episode, and then I remember like, oh, this character was in Harley Quinn, and then I was like, maybe I was remembering that more, and obviously that was more of a comedic take to it. So that's where I was kind of going like, is this episode going to be a cheeseball episode, or what's going on here? But then I was like, oh no, wait, yeah,
they play it super serious in this episode.
They play it, they really do. I mean, there is a, I mean, you have his, I guess you could say his former, I mean, I guess if they're in a relationship or something like that, she handles the business app. Cleo, who is like the woman in his life. And if you like take this story, this episode and kind of see it through her eyes, my God, I mean, this is just somebody who has made his mark and been successful, but that success went and just totally just broke him to the point where he has a big, huge, tall building in the sky of Gotham and he sits around, he has the loincloth, he's full on he is just trying to be like this God-like person. And he's totally just, reality is not even a thing to him anymore.
Oh no, he checked reality at the door. And but you know what? Something I forgot, and I was watching it. The animation in this episode is good. Well, and I looked it up. I was like, wait a minute. So, animation was done by Don Young with layouts by Spectrum. I was like,
there you go.
I was like, there's some. I saw Spectrum's fingerprints all over this, and the shadowing, the
clouds and all that. Yeah.
Oh my God. And like, and Spectrum is always good. Like he's in the dark. Batman's in the dark so much in this episode. I mean, I even had one little reveal that I totally like made a note of. I was like, okay, that's freaking awesome. Like that was well done.
So, I mean, the episode starts off with Gordon. Obviously, he's meeting with somebody named Yanni Stavros. Yeah, Stavros. And it's basically you get an introduction of what's going to be happening here because we got Gordon, you know, obviously he's trying to meet with this guy and, you know, and not the best part of any kind of neighborhood when it comes to Gotham, of course. And
but it's like a little Greek area because this is something I picked up on because if you looked at there was all these like subtle Greek references on the names of the buildings, like the restaurant's called Zorba. So I think, of course, like Zorba the Greek, the Anthony Quinn movie. Another one that actually says Argonauts on one of the buildings, which is, of course, Jason the Golden Fleece. There's a reference to that. Great Ray Harryhausen movie. If you haven't seen it, you know, classic stop motion kind of deal.
Yeah.
It was fun going, wow, they really did like put in like the little Greek Easter eggs. In this little neighborhood.
You could see it in the signage. And before we start, I didn't look at any of the voice credits. Is there anybody here that we should be thinking about, or did you not look either, or nothing?
No, I looked. And it's one of those things where it's like people who have like done stuff, but no one that just like stands out. The closest I came, which would mean something to us from the 90s, is the voice of Cleo. Her name was Bess Armstrong, and she was a star on My So-Called Life.
My So-Called Life. I mean, I remember the show, but I don't try to remember who she is. Her voice sounded kind of familiar, but I was like, it's probably not going to be anybody. But all right, so there you go. But yeah, so then of course we get Mr. Yanni Stavros here. Of course, getting chased by goons. There's always two goons, you know. That's the way it is.
One of them's got some nice. He's got some nice, like he's got some hair. Like
details with the chest hair going on right there. It's like they really wanted to make sure that they got that chest hair showing. And of course, they back him up into an alley. We got a nice little car that pulls up, and Mr. Stavros gets zapped, and Gordon is like, "What the hell just happened?" Because there's not a cloud in the sky. What would happen? Because obviously the doctor goes, yep. I mean, because you might think, oh, did he just get killed? No, of course not.
But I like the detail. They put the tires in the background.
Yeah. So they made sure to get, make sure, you don't want those standards and practices, right? Did I say it right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. I was like,
I taught you something after
I doubted
63
myself.
episodes.
I so doubted myself right there. I'm like, wait, did I say that right? But if anybody hasn't watched like previous episode, it has taken me a while just to remember that standards and practices, which is of course when you're doing a show like this, especially back in the 90s, to make sure that
it's the censorship.
There you go. And for some reason, I was always having trouble remembering those words. So it's there now, but I doubted myself. I shouldn't have never doubted myself. Damn it. But anyway, but yeah, I like the detail about the tires. So then it's like, okay, makes sense because I remember hearing that. I mean, Mom, a film junkie, she told me that when I was a kid, when there's thunder and lightning and stuff like that. It's like, you worry about, is a car going to get your car going to get struck by lightning? Oh yeah, but you got the tires there. The tires will absorb or blah, blah, blah. So
it won't allow it to ground. So it
ground. Yeah. Because that's you know anything about that? That's scary stuff. And speaking of that, man, we've been having some thunderstorms. And
me too, actually.
Yeah, dude, it's like going all over the place.
It's coast to coast.
Pretty much. I mean, and then even watching some of the football games, I mean, they were like seeing some of that too. Going back to the Bears and Niners game in Chicago.
Bears.
Bears. There was some rain coming down, like especially towards the end. It got really wet over there. So, but anyway, so yeah, they have all that now. Gordon's like, wait, what the? There's not a cloud in the sky. How the hell is this?
Did he get struck? How did he get struck by lightning?
Yeah. So obviously he does the whole, like, I love the shot too. He's looking through, you have his reflection. And of course he's doing his chin rub like, this isn't right. And then of course, talking to Batman, Batman knows who this guy is, of course, because he's Batman.
Well, of course, well, Interpol has, Interpol's got him on their radar. So of course, Batman's going to know about someone in Gotham who's on Interpol's radar.
Exactly.
He's the GD Batman. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why he was going to be meeting him is because, he was cutting a deal with the feds, and talking about this possible, like this, what do they call it? Electron discharge cannon that was stolen. And then I love it when like Gordon is going to show him a video of it. And it's on what? A DVD, laser disc. I mean, what are we talking about here?
I always thought more, what I thought? Because this was years before DVD.
Yeah.
CD-ROM,
yeah, you could be correct on that, but it's just kind of funny because it's like, instead of doing the normal tape thing that
it wasn't a VHS,
yes, because all throughout this series, it's usually a tape, it's something of a tape, and this time he actually pulled out, and you see, like, you see a disc, you see like a CD essentially, and it's just like I was kind of interesting, laser disc. I just remember when
no, it was too small to be a laser disc.
Laser discs were like, they were freaking bigger than Frisbees, man.
I mean, they were basically like vinyl almost.
Yes. God, I remember those. We never had one at home, but I remember at school. So like some of the classrooms had it, and those things were crazy. And you had to flip them.
Yeah, you did have to flip them. Yes.
So ridiculous, man. Good old laser disc. It sounded cool, but that went away. And then of course everything just got more compact, and then DVDs were born. Anyways, there's your little history with when it comes to technology.
When it comes to home media.
When it comes to home media technology, cheers to you guys. So of course they watch a test of this electron discharge cannon. And, of course, it's something that, you don't want to get that in the wrong hands. But we already know that, Max has got himself something. We already know where this is leading to. And so, of course, naturally, we got to stop him. But it's something you don't want to fuck with.
No. But then, of course, we go to Maxie's, headquarters.
By the way, the music in this.
Oh, no. Shirley Walker understood the assignment. I mean, this is like, she composed everything to be like classic sword and sandals, biblical epic type of music. Like this is what you'd hear like in like the 10 Commandments or Jason and the Argonauts. or when I'm about to bring up Clash of the Titans.
That's immediately what I thought about was Clash of the Titans, especially when with all the chess pieces and stuff like that.
Thank you.
Yes.
I totally made that note. I was like, oh my God, they gave Zeus chess pieces just like Laurence Olivier in Clash of the Titans. I was surprised we didn't get a Release the Kraken reference.
I know, right?
Seriously.
I wonder if there was one and they'd say like, maybe it's too on the nose, or maybe they just couldn't. I don't know. But no, when he's like messing with like, he's got chess pieces, that's it. Yeah. And I immediately thought Clash of the Titans. So yeah. But yeah, she
on
definitely
HBO Max if you haven't seen it. Just
yes.
Little plug there.
The older one, the one from not that the newer one. It's fine.
The newer one's entertaining.
Yes, it's not bad. Like I watched it, and I was like, okay, I actually thoroughly enjoyed this one. I did, but the original one I watched like crazy. That Medusa scene,
it's such a cheeseball fest too.
That Medusa scene though was just phenomenal.
Oh, the stop motion on that one is like creepy.
It's creepy. The music, everything about that scene. I think I watched that scene more than the whole movie. To be honest,
let's be honest, it's the best part of the movie.
It really is. It really is. I mean, so yeah, you are correct about that. Yeah. Whew. Anyways, but but you were right. Like when we see the tower and you see
it's Olympus. It's Mount
Olympus.
Yeah, which is really funny because at making a weird connection to D23, but that's what they did when with Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Olympus was the Empire State Building.
Oh, yeah, makes sense then.
So it's kind of fun that this is years before that, the idea. Well, what are you going to do when you have Mount Olympus in a major metropolitan area?
Here it is, right here,
but on top of a skyscraper.
Put it on top. I know. And then we started getting to know Max, and obviously we have Cleo, who's basically saying like, "Hey, you are falling into some legal issues here." But Max is just totally he's disconnected from the real world.
He's disassociated.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So he wants to hear nothing of it, and he definitely
really thinks he's Zeus.
Yeah,
he really thinks he's Zeus. Oh, by the way, fun thing, Cleo is the muse of history. So it's awesome that when he says, "You are my muse, telling me stories," it's like, well, no, that's actually where that name
came from.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Didn't know that. That's pretty cool. But and then it's just funny because as he's going through all that, and basically just saying like, "Hey, you are just what is happening? This is not going to work. What are you doing? You have to get back in reality. It's not happening." And then of course you hear, we hear that noise. We hear that bat wing noise. That's going to be starting to float up. And then I love how he just I love how he reacts to that and what he calls Batman. It's just so great.
I just love it. My brother Hades. And I also love the way it's animated because then you get that cool silhouette shot of Batman just kind of like in shadows.
When he opens up the cockpit, he just kind of just like comes up and it's just like, in a way. I mean, he kind of looks like he would be something like that. Lord Hades. It's like, geez. It is pretty cool, but like you said, and I love the animation when it comes to that, and then I love it when Max starts just talking to Batman, and Batman has
like such the what the fuck.
There's so many. His eyes tell you everything. His eyes are just like, what the fuck is going on here? Does this guy really think that he's a god? That he could just what is happening? Because I mean, Max is just basically saying like, hey, if he's able to survive up here on Mount Olympus, it's like, dude, it's a fucking building. I mean, like, it's not like, what are you talking about? It's just
I think even at one point you hear Batman go, okay.
Come here and drink the nectar of the gods, and all that. I always love that. You hear that in a lot of these like type of stories, the nectar of the gods when it comes to having a drink, so I just love and of course Batman's like, I think I'll pass. It's like, I'm not going to be having no. And then when Cleo she goes and talks to his goons. And it's just basically going like, hey, like, we got to do something about this. And like the one dude with the good chest hair is like, the boss will call us when he needs us. It's like, they don't even want to deal with it. They know. These guys know. They know.
Everyone knows that the boss is cuckoo.
Yeah.
But I love his reaction like, the Batman? Seriously? and And then Cleo's like, "You gonna go up there?" No, I'm good.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. They don't want to deal with this. I mean, it's just like, yeah, they just don't. And we find out that yes, well, Batman just basically goes like, "Hey, you were like," so we get a little backstory of like Max right here was like a little bit more because he has like the biggest like shipping firm, and then of course he started doing, making deals with the mob, and because business was ended up not being so great, so then of course he had to do dealings with the mob, and then of course just I guess all that stress just totally just broke the mind when it came to all this.
Which, by the way, when we go to Cleo's apartment, and I'm going to tell you this because we're going to be talking about it in a couple of weeks. Gave me some vibes of that scene from Mask of the Phantasm when Batman goes to see Andrea in her apartment. Because Cleo is drawn a little bit like Andrea gets drawn in Phantasm. Not going to lie, her character design is very close.
I could see that.
But I love it, like when she's there having the drink, and then Batman's there, and the lightning reveals that he's just standing there in her apartment. Oh, such a great reveal.
Oh, it's just good stuff, man. I tell you. But I mean, but before that, yeah, like I said, it's just like, and it's funny too because, I mean, Batman just going like, "What in the hell?" And then of course he leaves, and we see the Batwing leave. Cleo's just like, she's so sad. We've seen this kind of story before, where you got the love. The love interest, or not the love interest, but go ahead.
But no, that very much it reminds me of the woman in I forget her name from Feet of Clay, like
yes,
that.
Yeah,
Matt.
Because like she loves, she still has this love for him, but knows that he's just going cuckoo cuckoo, and knows exactly what is happening. And when she tells and I love it when she kind of busts Batman's balls a little bit when she talks about how he's like not in reality.
Disconnected from reality. I'm sure you're familiar with that.
And he kind of goes like, "What? Excuse me?" Like, but at the same time, it's like, well, yeah, Bats. I mean, you kind of, but it's not as bad as this. You can actually go back and forth between, you're basically in reality. But I just loved that little kind of like, oh yeah, you get it. But he was just. That's good. Like, what? I'm doing, yeah, but I'm not, I don't think I'm a bat. I'm just using it as a symbol. Damn, girl, what the hell? But I just love that little, I loved when she
it was good. It was really good.
Good line. It's definitely a good line. But yeah, when we hear about all that stuff, and then of course they do the whole thing even when you see the old picture before Batman shows up and everything, and then of course talks how the business dealings and everything, and then in order to all right, well, obviously Batman has to get into the building, so he basically just sneaks in there. He's in her trunk, as she
I always thought that was a cool thing. That's like, she does the palm scan, and he just kind of does the before she even gets out of the car, he's already in the
vent.
In the vents.
He's already in the ventilations, even though it's like, dude, come on, I at least try to close the little latch. It's like, like, okay, all right, well, but then again, for us, for the viewer, it looks kind of cool, sounds kind of cool. But yeah, and then I remember that. So then when obviously Cleo, she's trying to get up to the top too in when it comes to the elevator, and she gets stopped obviously because it's like, all right, you're no longer welcome here, I guess. And one of the main goon dude is just like, nope, you can't go up any further or whatever. And then of course when oh man, I totally just lost.
Well, no, because they do take her up there. And because that's when Maxie reveals the cannon.
Yeah.
Because it comes, because he's had it built into the building. It's just, great little supervillain thing. But I love it when the one thing I've always loved since I was a kid is the way that thing fires up. Because you got the two little things, and you get the bzzz.
Yeah, the whole Tesla effect thing.
Oh, the Tesla effect. Yeah. And you got the little tube that's like, it reminds me a little bit of like when Mr. Freeze's freeze cannon from Heart of Ice.
Yeah.
Because you have the coil inside of it.
And then, of course, he wants to, he fires that, one of the police little zeppelins or whatever. What do they call those again?
Blimps.
Blimps, Zeppelin. I don't know. Almost never mind. Maybe not the same thing. But anyways, yes, fires at one of those, which of course is those are always floating around when it comes to Gotham City. And again, animation looks really great when that thing comes crashing down.
And the music.
Yes, and you see other people like looking out the window, seeing it like go across.
Total like disaster, like 70s disaster movie feel right there.
Exactly. And it's just like when I saw that, and of course, this is where Cleo, and this is what's interesting about this part, she tries to reason with him, like, what the hell? And he briefly snaps out of it. Did you notice that?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was like, oh, there was like a moment where he was like, wait, what? Like, no, what? And then it's only for about like 4 seconds, but he snaps out of it.
And then he comes back, and then he's just like,
and then it's just done. Yeah, for a second, and then he just goes right back to it, and then of course now we have the main the chest head goon
Alex.
goes. Hey,
Alex
Alex.
was the name.
He's
Alex
just like he's like, boss, this is not what are you doing? And then of course he's just like everybody's like he just starts yelling off stuff, saying that everybody's like betraying him and stuff like that. Zaps him.
Actually zaps the other guy because Alex.
That's right.
Zaps the other guy. Yeah.
Okay. I got that one wrong, but he's just like, all right, everybody's against me now. Screw you guys. Obviously, he gets the notification from like his throne or whatever that Batman is of course in the building. There's a video, so of course now it's like, all right, well now we got to take out Batman as well, and he's just. But again, I loved how he briefly snapped out of it for a moment there. But
and now it's really cool though is that when he does when he goes to the intercom system, and he's talking to Batman, and there's that really cool shot of Batman falling through the vents into like that.
Yeah, it goes through a trap door.
Yeah, and that trophy room thing. Cool little Greek thing, by the way. I want to point this out because Maxie makes reference to the 12 labors, and he says Heracles, which is cool because a lot of us are familiar with the name Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
Heracles is the way you say the name in Greek. Hercules is derived from Latin, which would be the Roman name of the character. So the fact that they had him pronounce it as Heracles is actually more authentic if we're doing this based on the Greek origin of the stories. So I thought that was a cool little detail there.
See it out. I'm liking this episode even more than I already do. It's like the details are in there. I mean, because I'm not educated when it comes to all the Greek stuff, but I think the only thing that I caught was Bellerophon. What is it?
Bellerophon astride Pegasus. Yes,
because Mission Impossible 2. You know what I'm talking about? Because it had the Chimera and
and Bellerophon.
So that was like I was like, oh yeah, I recognize that one right there. I'm gonna try to slip that in the conversation. Try to sound,
but you have to bring up Mission Impossible 2.
I know exactly. I know you're not a fan. If Steven was here,
Steven would be like totally right.
Steven, we have a love for Mission Impossible 2, god damn it. But yeah, he goes to the trap door and goes to that, and then of course there's a snake, because why not? There's got to be a snake, right? Because of all this, and Batman apparently has some kind of spray. We don't know what it is.
Hey, if Adam West can have shark repellent, Kevin Conroy can frickin' have snake.
Yes, snake spray snake. Because it was funny too, because I actually rewound it. I'm like, does it actually have anything on it, like on that little canister? No, it doesn't. It's blank. So it could just be a generic something. Gas. Yeah, that maybe he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna get out of belt and I'm gonna do it. I gotta do it, and it works. So at least it works. But then all of a sudden you hear that.
Oh, that is so cool. When that boar comes like smashing through the wall.
Jesus. It's like, I was like, I didn't even remember. I was like, what is it? I'm like, huh? I was like, I stopped. I was like, what is it? I can't. Oh, it's a boar. It's a wild boar. And then, of course, Batman with with his rope just kind of latches and then just gets dragged and shot out the window.
Oh,
But
funny thing. Did you read Maxie's computer when that happened?
no, I didn't.
The
I didn't.
computer literally says intruder has left the building.
Jesus Christ, that's funny. Wow. That's pretty funny. Well, I mean, it technically true, but if there's like a ledge or something like that on your building, guess what? Batman's going to be able to, grab it because he's got good grip strength. Good, it never, the gravity, none matter. It's always going to be grabbing onto something,
Oh, absolutely. No matter how much that would just broken how many fingers? I'm just
God. But you got to have some, but I'm just kind of going like, but he's got a grappling hook. I mean, he's got a grappling gun. I mean, he could have just, done that.
He does it later to get up the rest of the way.
He does. I mean, I'll give him that. But at the same time, it's like, man, this whole thing where it's like, oh, Batman fell. Yeah, but he just grabbed onto some kind of ledge or whatever the hell. I mean, hell, even last week when we were talking about the Silicon Soul, I mean, there's random little light that he just happened to grab onto when he fell down that. Batman falls a lot. He falls a lot, but he always gets back up. That's for sure. So, and then of course now when it comes to this, we now have Cleo. She's now strapped to the cannon because why not? Why not just strap?
Well, because the energy is going to purify and you will become a goddess.
Oh man, he is just this guy. This guy is just. We were just. It's funny because even though he's so cuckoo, he's still obtained this cannon. He's still doing this whole thing. He's still. I mean, that's just. Even though, but he's got a theme. He's got a theme. That's it. Yes. He's just got a theme.
And he sticks with it,
He sticks with the theme, okay? So, I mean, and then, of course, Batman shows up, throws a batarang, hits his, like, little console right there. And then, of course, we have these little gargoyle statues that, of course, have...
machine guns for eyes. Because we saw them earlier because because Maxie calls them his harpies. It's just gargoyles with machine guns in the eyes. However, I love the detail. They're firing. The shell casings are coming out of the mouth. Like, I thought that was a cool detail.
Again, good animation. And, Batman, of course, he's got some grenades also, with snake repellent in his utility belt. So he takes out, a statue and then goes after Max. And then Batman gets Cleo off of the cannon and then gets zapped a little bit when it comes to, of course, a little bolt that he has. And then obviously Max is going to be essentially he's just firing it. Is he firing it on the city? Just going to fire it on the city? Or what exactly?
Well, see, originally he was going to fire it towards the moon to, purify Cleo. But yes, now he's just going to target the city.
Yeah.
Because now he's going to be the vengeful god who, must teach the mortals to fear and respect Zeus and the hierarchy of power, because the hierarchy of power is going to change, Dave.
Oh God,
I had to. I'm sorry.
This is the role. This is the role that The Rock should have played, or maybe John Cena. Maybe John Cena can be this. Maybe,
John Cena would have rocked this. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking. I'm like, hey, if they're ever going to do. We're ever going to bring him into live action. Well, he's already Peacemaker, though, so can't quite do that. So maybe somebody else. But yes, I know. Nice little, callback to, that whole thing that we've heard for like the last 2.5 years. Oh, we're all tired of it. And we're just kind of going, is it really, though? Is it going to?
No.
Is it really? I mean, hopefully we enjoy it, though.
Yes, I once again, I plan to enjoy everything until it proves me otherwise. Exactly. That's just how it goes. But it's really funny is that like Zeus has got his lightning bolt and Batman grabs it and then basically like javelins it into the cannon.
That's the clip I wanted to show.
Oh, that's the clip. Okay.
Yeah, that's a clip because it's just how intense it gets when it comes to all that, and then I love how he's
dramatic as all get
so dramatic, and then the way that Max is like, when he goes after it, it's just so it's really it's good. Look at that, love that.
I love that. Oh yeah.
Grab that. No! And that music. Look at that music. Dun, dun.
Look at that music. Really?
Sorry. I did say that. But then he thinks he's immortal, so he can handle this. Well, I mean, obviously he doesn't die, but still. Like, what are you doing, Max?
Oh, by the way, Batman just lets him fall.
Yeah.
Batman just lets him
Look at
fall.
this. Ow! Ow! That hurt. Like, that is a hard knock to the head right there.
I mean, he just caved in his skull. Let's be honest. Ow.
Oh, my! I mean, I rewound it too when I was initially watching. I'm like, damn, he like landed like freaking head first. I'm like, that's a broken neck automatically.
That's
right
a smashed in skull. That's a broken neck.
Oh,
that is traumatic brain injury.
Totally. And then it's like you hope maybe that'll knock some sense in him.
No, he's back in Arkham. They sent him to Arkham.
They sent him to Arkham, and then of course, we see Ivy, we see Two-Face, and we see Joker, and he gives them, he's basically saying that he's really at Olympus or whatever the hell now.
Because it actually works out once again. Great mythology, he's actually making pretty good references. Poison Ivy's Demeter, Two-Face's Janus, the Joker as Hermes. He calls Hermes a trickster. Hermes. I never remember Hermes being really a trick. I mean, it's not like Hermes is Loki or anything, but that was the one that was a little bit of a stretch. But I did notice something. The orderlies are the same character models as the orderlies from Dreams in Darkness when Batman got locked up in Arkham because of the Scarecrow. It's the same orderlies. At least one of them is definitely the same. The redheaded one is one of the same orderlies from Dreams in Darkness.
That's cool. I just loved it how like Joe again. I think I made this last time when you're walking down Arkham and everybody's in their normal clothes. Like I always just kind of go like, would they really be wearing their normal clothes? It's fine. We but I do love how Joker just like presses up against the glass and just sticks his tongue out. I'm like, cool. But of course, they didn't have Mark Hamill that time, so they couldn't do. I guess they just didn't want to, no voices or anything like that. You just see that. But yeah, so then he's just in a straitjacket in there. It sounds like he's happy. And there's really, I mean, who knows what happens to good old Maxie.
Because he never shows up again.
Never shows up again, right? This is it. Except for in Harley Quinn.
But as far as the animated series is concerned, this is the one and only appearance of Maxie Zeus in the entire series.
Crazy. But hopefully he snaps back into reality but it makes you kind of wonder though. I mean, how often does something like that kind of happen? I mean, where somebody just like gets so stressed with their business and they've been so successful that they break to the point where they can create a reality for themselves. And they have all, they have the money to do it and they have everything like that,
What also, because when you have, and I'm not going to say technically that he has dissociative identity disorder, but he obviously dissociates.
Yeah.
And he creates a personality that insulates him because if he believes he's a god, that means he's untouchable. That means that his psyche can insulate itself from the stress. Like, he's feeling the stress and the pressure because he feels like that his world's caving in on him and everyone's going to get him. Well, when he dissociates and then he believes that he's a god, then that allows his psyche to elevate itself above his worries and concerns because if he's a god, then no one can get to him. No one can touch him. Yeah. And it's basically what dissociative identity disorder does is the concept is that to protect the core psyche, you generate other dissociative personalities to insulate the core personality.
Yeah. And I mean that and I just for some reason I think when watching as a kid and watching reruns, this episode just never really was in like a heavy rotation when it came to this.
It wasn't.
It felt, yeah. So I'm like, I remember this episode, but I don't remember a lot of it. Now watching it, as an adult, I'm like, man, there's some serious, like, you could pick this thing apart. Like, imagine having Dr. Drea pick this thing apart. I mean, I'm
well,
sure
you don't have to imagine. There's an episode.
Yeah, you could actually
go listen to.
Yeah. I actually would like to listen to see what you have to say because of all this stuff. I mean, obviously, there's many episodes that you should listen to when it comes to that. But I mean, just to hear somebody with that knowledge of all this kind of stuff, psychology and everything like that, break down this episode. And because again, last weekend, guys, I was like, I don't remember. Is this like a cheese ball episode? But I'm sitting here going, I'm remembering the Harley Quinn Maxie here, not so much this. Now that I watch this, I'm like, oh, this is a whole different thing that I fucking remember right now. So that's why I was like, oh, this episode, like before we went live, I was like, yeah, got notes. And I'm like, holy shit, I really, really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was going to be a cheese ball. Nope.
Isn't it so nice for you to be pleasantly surprised?
Fuck yes. I love this. I love that, so there you go, man. I mean, yeah, it was just like a pleasant, like, okay, this was like something that, it could have been cheese ball, and has a little cheese ball in it, but at the same time, there's some themes in here that, man, you could really just pick apart. I like it. What do we got next week, though?
Oh, we got another good one. Read My Lips.
Oh, more psychology going on here. More.
Oh, you better believe it.
Oh, the ventriloquist Scarface. Oh, God, man, that's going to be a good one.
And the return of a well-known voice actor who just played like countless role. Like it's George Dunza again, and I think he was the voice of Sid the Squid. No, that wasn't. He wasn't Sid the Squid, but he's been in the show before, and he's going to show up many times again later. But this is like his before he became Perry White in Superman the Animated Series. This was his big claim to fame on Batman the Animated Series, despite the fact we've already heard him like once or twice already, and we're going to hear him again because I said the same guy shows up in Sub-Zero when we get to that movie.
I like it. Well, there you go, guys. Read My Lips. That's going to be the next one. Great episode. Getting back into the mob type kind of stuff. But I mean, that's one that you pick apart too, that you can just really pick apart too when it comes to psychology and stuff.
By the way, that is also going to be our penultimate episode of season 1.
The penultimate? Say that again.
Oh my God.
I know. No. Say it again. I didn't hear it. I don't know if I processed.
Penultimate.
Okay. What does that mean? Teacher is upset, guys. Not upset, but disappointed.
I'm not mad. I'm just
disappointed.
Penultimate. Next to last.
Ah, gotcha.
Could you think of the ultimate as being the final, the last one? The penultimate episode is always the next to last.
There you go. Okay. See, I learned things on here, guys. It happens. It's fine. It's good. Thank you. Penultimate. I don't think I've ever heard of that term.
Really? You've never heard that?
I don't think I heard. Maybe I did, and I just didn't pay attention in class.
It was a word I heard I obviously I knew what the word meant, but it was a word I heard a lot, especially when it came to Arrow, because it was always the penultimate episodes that were always named after Bruce Springsteen songs.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because back when they would do like 22 episode seasons, episode 21 was always like, go back. The next to last episode of every season of Arrow was a Bruce Springsteen song.
Nice. I didn't even realize that. I don't even think I heard about that. That's
yeah.
Well, I'll have to look at that. Interesting. Penultimate. All right. I know that. It's in my brain now. I probably won't know
it's
it.
Like Sesame Street. We just did a word of the day.
Yeah. Penultimate, or like Pee-wee's Playhouse. Penultimate. Oh man, love it. All right.
Wow, we are old.
Yes, we are. Jeez. I watched that show
every Saturday morning.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, man. It's good stuff. All right. Well, there you go, guys. That was Fire from Olympus. Pleasantly surprised of how much I enjoyed this episode and the themes within it. And it's just, that was good. That was great. And next week, like I said, Read My Lips. It's another, I remember that one. I do. I remember that one. So yeah, it's a good one. And so make sure you guys watch that. And go ahead, Scott, promote.
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter at ScottDC27. You can find my podcast, the DC Squadcast, wherever podcasts can be found, which, by the way, if you check your podcast feeds today, you'll get our very first episode of Man of Steel, scene by scene. Episode 1, The Superman is Born. And of course, we're on Vero, Facebook, YouTube with the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com. And you know what? I'm here every Sunday. I mean, just keep on coming back.
Just keep on coming back, teaching me terms and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying.
Words.
Yes, it's all about the words. All right, guys, make sure you smash that like, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join if you want to become a member. Join the Patreon if you want to do that too. And everything is all provided down below, all the sock meds. And we will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right, guys, talk to you later.